Hey, Gear Gang.
Are you ready to ride?
All the time.
Excellent!
Most excellent.
Cowabunga, dude. Hey, y'all. Today we are going to start off on our series called Cost Efficient and Combat Effective. Essentially, we want to talk about different setups, how to do it both ways from Gucci to non-Gucci, and really break it down. So today we're doing rifle setups because I've heard a couple people say this, that the rifle is the queen of battle.
Follow me.
Hello, hello, infantry! Hello, hello, infantry!
But it is a well-trained infantryman with his rifle that is the queen of battle.
Yep, just like the old adage of the Indian and the arrow, it is about the user, not the tool. One of my favorite Clint Smith quotes, because there's so many, is him talking about the man with one gun, like some dude with a 41 Magnum, but he knows how to use it.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
All right, so how do you like your rifle?
Well, let me reach into the armory. So mine is kind of a cross because I'm also testing out a light. I'm a Streamlight guy, but sometimes we have some issues with them. So this is a Daniel Defense, short, lightweight. It was old new stock when I got it, so that's why I have the key mod.
Got that weenie mod, yeah, buddy.
Got that old Keeney mod. So I'm running primary arms 1-8 in a Midwest Industries mount. I have a Hollow Sun IR visible laser, Streamlight with the clip, and let's see if she's gonna do it. Let's see, you might like this. There we go.
Ka-ching!
So the problem is the wires on those.
100 Concepts light cap, by the way, freaking love these things.
So the problem is the wires are they're below par. They're below par. So I'm gonna upgrade to an actual tail cap. Their new generation has the tail cap option with the plug, but this is just what I'm running for right now.
But it's a great option, and I mean, for it to come with a pressure pad and a tail cap, and you be able to have the redundancy piece, it is what it is. Tape switches and wires are what fails, right? That's why wire management, things like Goon tape, we're gonna plug a couple times in here because we don't want to snag on stuff. All
right. So I'll also keep in my gear though, the actual click button for the back of this in case it does fail. Always have iron sights, backup iron sights. This is a set of Troy's. I like the HK style because it's quicker to choke on targets. That's what the V is on the front of your front sight post. You can use that to choke targets in CQB.
Those ears.
That's for another lifetime there. So what are you running over there?
So I've got my basic setup. One of my favorite rifles is BCM upper on a PSA lower, but I didn't bring it out today because I wanted to talk about the more budget side. So this is my budget B basic pistol. It's literally more or less the most cost effective thing I can do. It's a PSA. Oh my God. And you know what? You probably watched the Grand Theft video. I know we did, but in all honesty, I put a few thousand rounds through it. I'm not at that 5,000 mark yet. It's been pretty good to me in the sense of that it's basic. It's got most everything I need. I wanted it to be a truck gun, but it's a 10.5 with a can on it. It doesn't always work for, bags and small things. So PSA 10.5, Streamlight on there, Sig Romeo, Sig Juliet magnifier. Again, this was a basic build. I got a fancy charging handle because I love fancy charging handles. Ooh, let's not danger check this.
James Yeager with Tactical Response, reminding you that your responsibility to be ready for the fight never ends.
Oh, Taylor, what are you doing? Safety. Will you help me out?
Yeah, you're gonna
pop that
knock
magazine
your
out?
coffee, bro.
That's okay. I'd rather knock my coffee than upset the internet police. So, basic, legit, short pistol setup, Sylvan folder. Again, it's like the cheapest thing I could do. I love a captured sling, so we recently got our hands on some of the Kentuckiana Gunworks slings, and it's a great option for it being effective cost-wise and a solid product. It also has a no BS warranty, so if you break it, they'll replace it, but it's pretty similar to what we've been running for a long time, which is, in my opinion, the gold standard as far as the Vickers sling goes. I like a captured sling. VTACs are cool, but it's not captured. Just wait till you're fighting the night monster with that sling tail in a pouch or something, and you'll appreciate it.
Yeah, so I'm running the Vickers Blue Force sling.
Yep.
It's very stiff. That's a lot smoother.
Yeah.
It's got quicker tension, release tension.
Yeah, it's a little thinner webbing, so it has a lot less friction.
Right, but we're gonna have to run a bunch of reps with it to see how well that will still grip after I've done that.
Yeah.
In the mud,
I'm gonna hang
in
from
the
a tree
rain.
in it or something.
Yeah.
We're not doing deep dives on it. We just want to touch on a little bit of sling variety because, you know, it's going to be different for everybody, honestly. Your mileage may vary. 2-point sling, captured, master race, in my opinion. But again, you do you.
So in your opinion, now this is a Palmetto State Armory.
Yep.
And
PSA lower, PSA upper, bought the optics from PSA, bought the adapter folder from PSA, everything but the muzzle device and the sling is all from our homies down in South Carolina.
I have a couple PSA lowers. I haven't had a problem with the lowers. I mean, how many companies in the United States, y'all can do the research, or
Yeah, look up
You can
how
put it
many.
somewhere.
Look up how many companies do the actual
milling,
forging,
the forging and milling.
of the aluminum receivers, and then who is using the original forging receivers. I like Arrow; they make good stuff, and you should do some research on who makes what. Either way, but my BCM is a PSA lower. We bought one of those 3-packs, built them out, made sure that they were assembled properly, good parts. Life is good. Essentially, breaking it down, keeping it simple, TLDR. For a basic rifle setup, I believe you need an optic, some
Yes.
good sighting solution. Backup irons are nice if you can work it out. I love having a fronts fixed sight on this one. Lower third co-witness is kind of old school at this point with all the new fanciness, but it works, and it's nice to know that all I have to do, if my magnifier's out of the way, is flip the backside up and go. Zero your backup iron sights as well. That's not a rant for today, but
why would you do that?
why would you zero your iron sights? Exactly. They're there for looks. It's there for Instagram. I had extra rail space, had to put it on there. But for this being a cheaper, not American optic, right? It's not one of your big 3 premium tier brands. I've had pretty good success with it for the Romeo 5s. Obviously, it's not perfect. Battery life, there's all sorts of different conversations, but it's a good basic build. I can hit stuff out to 200-300 yards with the magnifier pretty well, as long as it's zeroed properly and you know your holds, you're good. So you need an optic, you need a sling,
And
you
a light.
need a light at minimum. I would suggest some backup sight system of some sort. I like to paint my rifles and personalize my rifles. I think it's, there are many like it, but this one is mine. And I want to have a good time with it. You can tell there's a little bit of a green theme on this one. But we have a special guest coming into the table today. Let's talk about some old school cool for a minute and why it's still good.
So this is my blood diamond rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that one before.
So basically, it's a who is that company? H&R. H&R.
Old school.
This is the Olympic fixed carrying handle. A buddy of mine hooked me up with a 20-inch heavy barreled Olympic. Pulled the barrel out. The barrel is in something else that may come on here. And I got a barrel from PSA. I pin and welded this on there. It runs like a Singer sewing machine. I really like it. The sight's pretty good. Of course, I had to make sure that this was torqued as much as I could get it. Otherwise, you'll see them vibrate.
Yeah, it is not the ideal mounting solution. Obviously, technology's changed, but it works great. I want to highlight, you look at the offset on this thing versus things like Unity's, surprisingly close.
Right.
You still have iron sights on this thing too, right?
Correct.
Okay, that sounds nice.
I kind of zeroed them.
Yep. There's a light, old school setup.
Well, this Surefire is an actual Surefire that a buddy of mine gave me while we were in Iraq. So that it's really cool to get to put it on this because it didn't really work on anything else.
And you put a modern head on there, so it's a proper light.
I changed the bulb inside to an LED.
Yep. Sling. Tell me about this sling. This looks interesting.
Right. So what we got going on with the sling is this is the old school jungle adapter. And back in the day, we would put 550 cord on them just so they didn't clink and they didn't end up shining. So you put 550 cord on there. Don't use 550 cord. See a lot of guys do that because it looks cool. Well, it will melt through on this front sight post. So you get you a $5 jungle sling adapter. That this half from here to here is off of an Alice rucksack shoulder strap. So you still have the same functionality like you do the modern slings.
Wow.
And guys, guys have been doing this since Vietnam. It's not new. These aren't new. It's just what works.
There's been some changes along the way, but again, you'll notice that things come in cycles. Trench warfare, I guess, is an example. It's odd that 100-plus-year-old things are coming back into the fore, but again, stuff changes, stuff stays the same.
And then the back half is literally like a fixed cantilever ratchet strap to strap things down into vehicles or a stretcher together or things like that. And I just grabbed an old little slip buckle off of some old gear I had and made a sling like we used to do back in the day.
It has a certain aesthetic that just does things to me that I didn't realize I needed. And other than that muzzle device on there, this is legit a rifle I would run all the time. Granted, you can't run a magnifier. You're going to be in some interesting territory with no roads if you're trying to run an LPVO on here. You know, you figure that out on your own. Somebody's out there doing it, I'm sure. Tell me how you're the 22 guy in the comments.
Well, we used to get a 3 to 4 powered optic that would drop inside the carrying handle as part of the Stanag kit, if anyone wants to look that up.
Those old school ones, yes.
So the magazine is a Stanag mag, and the hole in the carrying handle is part of the Stanag system. So the little scope would go in there, which I have one that might appear on here on another rifle. I went with the Goon tape instead of 100 mile an hour tape because I like the you get grip on this Goon tape whether it's wet or not.
I love Goon
tape. I put it on front and back. I put it on my handguns. It's good stuff.
Yep. I use it as photography and video props as well. You'll see it in some videos hiding behind some stuff. It's good. It's good. Really. We love it.
It is good stuff.
They don't sponsor us. You know, we're going to be honest, full disclosure of everything we get, like the Sling, but we buy stuff because we like it. Let's be real.
Right. And back in the day, it makes me remember back in the day, we would get gaffer tape. It's cloth-based tape, different colors, black, green, white.
Also
and
good for photography stuff.
Back in the day, you could not paint your rifle, but you could stick gaffer tape all over it and peel it off before you turned it into the arms room. But that's the old blood diamond right there.
So what would you close out with as far as advice from a rifleman? Well, sorry, Marines. Don't get it twisted. Don't come at me. I promise. It's out of love. But as a infantryman, as a dude who has used a rifle once and twice in your life, what would you suggest as final thoughts on setup for somebody who just got one? Right. This is for new gun owners essentially. How do you set it up? How we're talking about it?
Yeah. So sling. Get a sling. Get a reliable optic, and you don't have to break the bank on an optic. Like his SIG he's running right here. I have 4 of these on 4 different guns, and I've been running them for years.
I don't have crazy expectations about it. I don't expect it to survive a helicopter crash. It's not on my end of the world gun, but it's on a gun that I use a lot and we train with a lot, and it works.
So for me, it's sling, optic, light, backup iron sights. You must do it. And then services. It doesn't matter who made your rifle. If you're not cleaning it and maintaining it and inspecting it, it doesn't matter who made it. It will fail you. It will fail.
Yeah.
So after you use whatever your personal favorite cleaner is, you can go get this from Kentuckiana Gun Works. It's a really good lubricant. We're in the process of figuring out what extremes it can go through.
We're gonna do some testing on it, but honestly, the grease seems like it is a really incredible solution for hard use products, super high heat.
Yeah, I would highly recommend buying a tube of this and pulling things like your magazine release out, because you need to have some kind of hydrophobic grease in there. That way that spring, it's a tiddly little spring. All your little detent springs and things like that, put some of this on there. It'll help keep the water out, help keep them moving, keep them from rusting and breaking on you.
And as you can tell, we are going to be getting into that stuff quite a bit here with our Gear Gang homies. Thank you for watching. I am excited to talk more about this. Obviously, we probably did a little more in-depth dive, a bit more than a basic setup, but we wanted to show you what we like while we're running, be honest about, limitations of it. So where can they find us?
At Spicy Snafu on Instagram.
Yep.
And then also on YouTube.
Yeah, you're already here on YouTube. Cool, thanks. If you're on Instagram, come check us out. We think we're having a good time. And until next time,
stay safe in all you do.
Stay spicy.